Which version? Authorised or Revised? By Philip Mauro. Published 1924. Narrated by David Clark. The purpose of this book is to set forth information concerning the Authorised and Revised version of the New Testament. Information which should be shared by all Bible readers, but is in the possession of only a few in our day. Our present inquiry is in regard to the many differences, some of them quite serious, between the Authorised or King James Version, first published in 1611, and the Revised Version, 1881. The total number of the departures of the latter from the former is over 36,000. Why was such an enormous number of changes made? On what authority? What is the general character and effect? Briefly, do they give us a better version? That is, one that brings us nearer to the original autographs of the inspired writings? And is the Authorised version so very defective as implied by such an enormous number of corrections? Not only is this a matter of the highest consequence, but it is one as touching which the ordinary Bible reader would wish to have a well-grounded opinion of his own. As a basis for such an opinion, they must have knowledge of the pertinent facts. For the experts, the textual critics, editors, Greek scholars differ and dispute amongst themselves, and their discussions and dissertations abound in matters so technical and abstruse that ordinary persons cannot follow them. Therefore, the conflicting opinions of the experts serve only to becloud the subject for the common people. The pertinent facts themselves are not difficult to understand, but they are inaccessible to most Bible readers. Therefore, we are writing these pages with the object mainly to setting forth such facts concerning the two rival versions as have served as a basis for the writer's own judgment. These facts are not only supremely important, but are also absorbingly interesting. So it is not a dry and tedious discussion that we invite the reader of this book, but to one of lively interest. As to which is the better of the two versions of the English Bible, there is of course differences of opinion. Those who favour the modern version will point to the fact that during the 300 years that have elapsed since the Authorised version was translated, much material has been discovered whereby additional light is thrown upon the text. They also refer to the advancement in the departments of learning and to the fact that the RV was the result of the labours of eminent scholars, who spent 10 years upon its production. All this is true, and other general facts of like import could be mentioned, all of which serve to prepare the minds of English-speaking people everywhere to give a most favourable reception of the new version. How comes it then that the King James Version has not only maintained its place of supremacy, but of latter years has forged further and further ahead of its rival? This surely is a matter worthy of our thoughtful consideration. But before we begin to inquire into it, we wish briefly to direct the reader's attention to facts of great importance touching the Holy Scriptures in general and the English Bible in particular. Everything pertaining to the Bible, and particularly every change proposed in the Bible as we have had it in the English tongue, is a matter of high consequence to all men, whether they realise it or not, for it is beyond all question that the Bible has been the chief factor in the formation of our Western civilization and also the chief factor in conserving it. Its unique influence upon the lives of individuals and the standards of justice and morality which it has held up before the people are what have served to withstand the mighty destructive forces and lawlessness and anarchy by which the very existence of society has been always menaced, and more so just now than ever before. The influence of the Bible has controlled and still contributes far beyond all other factors combined to the maintenance of government and of all the principles of law, customs, usages, standards of ethics, education and family life that make for the welfare of nations, community and individuals. This we can assert without fear of contradiction, for even so great an enemy of Christianity, as Mr. H.G. Wells acknowledges, that civilization owes both its origin and its preservation to the Bible. He has recently declared in print that the civilization we possess could not have come into existence and could not have been sustained without it. Again, he admits that it is the book that has held together the fabric of Western civilization, that it has unified and kept together great masses of people, that it has been the handbook of life to countless millions of men and women. It has explained the world to the mass of people and has given them moral standards and a form into which their consciences could work. Hence its testimony, which is all the more valuable because it comes from one of the most prominent of the enemies of the faith, which rests for its support upon the Bible. And we wonder how any man who is capable of grasping the facts thus admitted by Mr. Wells can fail to see that a book which has, through centuries of time, accomplished results so great in magnitude and so excellent in character must needs be of superior origins. The facts which Mr. Wells and other infidels are constrained to admit concerning the influence of the Bible and concerning the extent, duration and above all the character of that influence among the peoples of the world cannot be predicated, even in a small measure, of any other book. So here we have, in the outstanding facts which even the enemies of Christ are constrained to acknowledge, proof enough of the divine authorship of the Holy Scriptures. But what we specially wish to emphasise for our present purpose is that, when reference is made to the Bible and its influence, what is meant in most cases is the English version thereof. For the undeniable fact is that the English version of the Scriptures is the Bible to most of those who read or consult the Holy Scriptures, and the English version has been, moreover, the basis for the translation of Scriptures into many other languages and dialects. From these facts, which are matters of common knowledge, it follows that whatever affects the English version of the Bible is of highest consequence to all people of the world, even if we limit ourselves to the consideration merely of their temporal concerns. Therefore, it behoves all of us who have at heart the purpose of God, which God has given us, His holy word, to acquaint ourselves, so far as we can, with the merits of the several English versions, in order that we may have an intelligently informed and well-grounded opinion upon the question which of these versions as a whole is the best calculated to accomplish the purposes of God, and to secure the welfare of human beings both for time and for eternity. For the thought of writing this book, and for some of the materials composing it, I am indebted to the pamphlet on the Revised Version by L.E.B. produced by Elliot Stock, London.